Hey.
All right, we're back this week, and we are going to Texas.
Are you sure?
I am sure. I am sure. I had to think about there for a second. You know, I've been busy, been doing things. You know.
Well, Texarkana is not.
It's
just
confusing.
In Texas.
Yes, it's a confusing city because it's split between Arkansas and Texas.
That's
and
the name.
Yes, and we have deemed Arkansas as part of the southern situation due to the redneckness of it all, you know?
Of course it is.
Yes. All right, so we are going to Texas this week, and we are going way, way, way back to like the 1940s. But before we get into that, I just want to talk about our Patreon. So we have our Patreon, patreon.com/blessedthismesspodcast. We have updated the tiers, so we've done a whole revamp. And if you want to know more about the revamp, go to the episode before this. We did put the Friday episode out to everybody. That's our new Shoot the Poo is now called Sittin', Sippin', and Bullshittin', which was partially Stu's
rebrand.
Yes, rebrand.
Well, I didn't want to rebrand the Shoot the Poo, but somebody did. I had a little input.
Stuart, we're trying to do a whole thing, okay? If you go to that episode, you'll hear our whole rendition of what we're trying to do. We're trying to maybe like upgrade the podcast a little bit, make it a little more professional. And my idea was that we are on a porch, all of us,
or in a
all
closet.
You listeners. What?
Or in a closet.
Okay, we're in a closet, but we're on a theoretical porch, okay? If I could be sitting on a porch talking to you, everybody, I would. But the acoustics are not great for that. So
they are not.
So, yeah, my idea was we are on a porch. We have our mason jars. We do actually have mason jars right now, guys, okay? We have a mason jars. They're full of something.
A little something special.
A little something, a little strong something. And we are talking about true crime and our lives and everything like that. So that was the ideal behind revamping Bless This Mess Southern True Crime Podcast. We've been doing this for 8 years now, and we've always wanted to kind of like streamline it, make it a community, things like that. And so that's what we have done. So if you'll notice, there is a new cover art. We've been working for a couple months on this, like to get this all together. So we have a new cover art. We have new tiers on the Patreon that you can go check out. We have new official mason jars that are going to say the Porch Crew because we're on the porch. So our crew is the Porch Crew. Yes. So yeah, I highly recommend going and checking out that last episode that we put out on Friday to learn more about all of the changes we'll be making. We're also going to be streamlining these episodes that we're doing. If you recall...
Couldn't tell by this intro.
I know. If you'll recall, a long, long time ago when we first started this podcast, yes, we were drunken fools. However, we went very in-depth on the cases. And here of recent, we just haven't had the time, but I've been working hard the last couple of months to get ahead and really research these cases and be able to have them and have all the extra details that you guys want. And so we're going to kind of get back to that. We'll still have a little bit of banter back and forth, but we're going to get back to the core of the crimes during our weekly episodes is what the plan is. And then on the Friday episodes on Patreon, we'll get into more of all of our nonsense that we have, that we maybe get carried away with sometimes.
That somebody goes on too long about.
Okay, well, whatever, Stu, okay?
What, you think it's me?
No, you're always telling me to stop.
Wrap it up?
Yes, wrap it up. Anyway, so basically, let me run you down real quick, and then we'll get into this week's episode so we don't carry on like we have been in the past. So basically, on Mondays, you will have A Little Less Mess, which is our regular episodes, but it's like pared down to just the facts. It's just me telling the story. I'll also post those on social media. So we have those on Mondays. Wednesdays, if you are a Patreon on the Spike Tea level, you will get those early and ad-free. On Thursdays is where our regular episode will come out. That are just our core of it, which is a true crime episode. And then on Fridays, we have Sittin', Sippin', and Bullshittin', which was formerly Shoot the Poo. And so now that's just us talking about our life updates. And then we will cover a true crime documentary. Like last week, we covered A Toxic Love Story on Netflix. So don't go watch that and then listen to it because we definitely have spoilers in there. So yeah, and then we have our weekly pour every week, which will be part of our Friday episode. So that's where we pick a drink each week. We make it in our mason jars. We share the recipe with you guys so you can
drink.
So you can drink along with us. The whole point is that we want it to feel more like a community. On our Patreon now, we have a group chat where you can like directly talk to me and Stu, and we can respond to you right away, almost like a text message kind of situation. So yeah, if you haven't ever checked out our Patreon, we highly recommend go.
I thought you forbid me from.
No, I didn't forbid you, Stu.
Oh.
You can still respond.
Okay.
You need to run it by me first, but you can respond. Yeah, so the point of it is it's a group chat where it's more like a text message where you are communicating with us. So that's one of the things that you get with our Patreon. And then obviously we'll still be on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm still sharing our dinners each night if you want to know about those.
What do we have tonight?
We had leftovers. We had leftovers. So yeah, so go check those out. And then obviously we really appreciate if you guys rate, review, and subscribe. 5 stars only. Of course, we ask that. Some people get mad we ask that, Stu.
Yeah.
They get real mad. What else am I supposed to ask for? You want me to ask you to
please give us
a 1-star review. Please tell me how terrible I am.
Yes. If you don't like us, please tell us how shitty you think we are.
Yes. If you don't like us, just stop now and exit the podcast.
Find all the platforms that we're on and crap on us on every single platform.
Yes. So with that, you can find all those links in our show notes, and we really appreciate everybody who has been here with us a long time, all of our patrons. And if you were a patron before these changes happened, you are grandfathered in. I just want to say that. So the same level you're still at that level.
Same benefits.
Same benefits for the same price. Now, if you exit that tier and then try to come back in, it ain't going to be there. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's not that much of a price change or anything like that. But yeah, so that's the changes we have. If you probably are looking at this and notice the logo change and stuff, that's where all this is coming from. It's kind of a revamp of the podcast, and we're trying to be more professional, if you will, Stu.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're trying. Okay. Well, so
one of us is.
With that, Stuart.
What?
Oh my God. Anyway, we'll still have banter back and forth, but we are going to try to stick to the crimes during the regular weekly episodes because that's where you guys are here. You want to hear about the true crime, you know? You want to hear our bullshit probably on Sittin', Sippin', and Bullshit, and that's the point of the name of it. All right, so with that, Stu, we're going to go ahead and get into our case out of Texas. And this is a crazy one. I had never heard of this until I started researching it. It's a serial killer that is nobody knows. I didn't know about him.
Yes, as part of our revamp, I guess we're going to be doing unsolved crimes as well.
Yes, we'll do some unsolved crimes too. I feel like because we're murder, mystery, and mayhem, so that's part of the mystery, Stu.
We don't do much mystery or mayhem, do we?
No, but we're going to be doing it. That's the intent of the podcast originally was we do true crime stuff, meaning we do current murders that have been solved, but also like Southern mysteries, like what is happening in the South. What are these, like the Axeman and stuff? We did that one. Nobody ever solved that one. We don't know who that did that. We've done unsolved crimes before.
We have.
So.
Not often.
Okay, Stu, would you like to just cancel now? Would you like to cancel this episode?
Maybe I don't like working
He's
with you
apparently got a
anymore.
problem with the unsolved mystery type.
I have a problem with my colleague.
Okay, well, I've got a problem with my colleague as well. I'm filing a complaint with HR. All right, so let's go ahead. Okay, can you just shut up? Again, we
Fine.
can't get away from the core humans that we are. Stu, shut up. Let's get into this case out of Texas. All right. So it's Texarkana, 1946. To understand the fear that settled over Texarkana, we have to start with what it was like before the killer showed up, Stu. Texarkana is literally split by the state line. One side in Texas, one side in Arkansas, as you can imagine, because it's called Texarkana. Yeah. Now, in early 1946, the war was over. The World War II, that was a big one, Stu.
That's what they say. The
yeah,
WWII was a big one.
No, two I's. WWE.
I said WWII.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so things are trying to get back to normal. So people are trying to just do something fun. So they're getting back their jobs. They're working in the rail yards, the mills. But the soldiers are coming home. They're trying to do dances. They're trying to go to church socials. There's the couples that are heading down Lover's Lane.
Doing some necking.
They're just trying to get a sense of normalcy after this whole war just completely shattered the whole community. And, because all the young people were going off, the men were going off to war. It was unknown what was going to happen in this country and stuff. And so it's finally over and they can finally get back to a place of normalcy.
Now, at this time, Texarkana, Cara, is a town where folks believe in minding their own damn business and living simple, which I can appreciate.
Yes, we like to live a little simple life ourselves.
Yes. You can lock your door at night, or you cannot lock your door at night. You just don't go looking for trouble.
And trouble won't find you.
And that's what I'm saying. And there was this assumption that if you were a decent person, big, terrible things wouldn't come and find you.
Yes, and that's how I don't live my life. I assume everything bad is going to happen.
Yes, you assume I'm trying to kill you.
Yes, I'm. As we talked about in the Friday episode, I would not give you full power of attorney to sign for the real estate. I was like, I am not signing over all my rights. I've seen this Dateline episode before.
Did I give you full rights to buy this house when you signed for this house?
I don't remember. I don't recall. But maybe I could take you down right now if I still have that, because apparently you have to end the power of attorney.
Yes, you do.
So over about 10 weeks in that spring, that assumption shattered. An unidentified attacker assaulted 8 people and killed 5, targeting mostly young couples in parked cars at night. So when they were just trying to, enjoy their lives, Stu.
Get to second base, feel a boob or something?
Oh, Stuart.
What?
Now, the press gave him names: the Phantom Killer, the Phantom Slayer, the Moonlight Murderer, which, personally, if I was going to be a serial killer, I would pick the Moonlight Murderer.
Well, I mean, I'd want to go with the Phantom Slayer. I like that one.
Oh, you like
myself.
that one? Because you like Slayer.
I do like Slayer.
Now, he stopped being just a criminal on paper and became a sort of regional boogeyman, which we'll talk about it later, but his legend continued
to this day. Of
being the boogeyman.
The first known attack happened on the night of February 22nd, 1946. 25-year-old Jimmy Hollis and his 19-year-old girlfriend.
Seems like a big age difference to me, Stuart.
You think? What?
Maybe back then that didn't matter. I don't know.
It's only 6 years. They're both adults.
I guess. I mean, we're one to talk, but...
You're one to talk.
You're one to talk.
I'm fine with it.
I know you're fine with it.
You're bringing up some nitpicky stuff now, though, it seems like.
Okay.
Anyway, Mary Jean Larry was the girlfriend. They were parked on a secluded road just outside the Texarkana city limits. It was late, it was quiet, and just another Lover's Lane night for them, because evidently they like to go out there and do a little necking.
Yes. Now, out of the dark, a man appeared at the driver's side window with a flashlight and a gun. According to both survivors, he wore a white cloth mask like a pillowcase with holes cut out for the eyes and mouth, which is absolutely...
Terrifying.
Like, that is straight out of a 1970s horror movie.
Like the old guy from Batman, the Sandman, that had the bag with the eyes and the mouth.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, if you want your kids to scare people at Halloween, just take a pillowcase and cut some eyes out. Maybe we should do that with our kids. We could just really creep people out this year.
We'll just all go as a pillowcase family?
Yes. Now, he ordered Jimmy out of the car, then he forced Jimmy to remove his pants and proceeded to beat him severely in the head with a blunt object, fracturing his skull. So he's working on the premise of humiliating him by having him take his pants off before assaulting him. Like, that's another level. Like, it's not just beating him. It's like, hey, take your clothes off and then I'm going to attack you to show you how much more dominant I am than you.
This is scary. I mean, I
It
don't know
is
if I would have
scary.
been making out in the car when I was
I
younger.
know.
We got pulled over by the cops once. That was exciting.
Who?
Nothing.
Oh, Stuart. I was about to say, it ain't me and you. You best check yourself before you wreck yourself.
What?
It's so funny. We've been together for how long? 16 years.
Yes.
And we have 4 children, and I will still get mad.
Yep.
All right.
What do you mean I wasn't your first love?
Yes, that is true, Stuart.
Getting back to our case. Mary Jean was chased into a ditch and assaulted. Some accounts say he told her to run, and then he attacked her when she did run.
Yeah, it's almost like he's like toying with him, you know?
Yes, there's another version of the story where he ordered her to get up and chased her down. In either version, both of them were left gravely injured, but both were still alive.
And when they recovered enough to talk, they gave conflicting descriptions about the attacker's race and face, which isn't surprising given that they'd been attacked in the dark with a masked person. I mean, just scary. And we're dealing with a level of trauma that's just, I mean, they had gone through something. I mean, the one guy had been asked to remove his pants and then
Pistol
beaten,
whip,
and
most
then
likely.
the girl had been sexually assaulted. So they agreed on a general height around 6 feet and the mask. Beyond that, there wasn't much for police to hold on to. It just wasn't cohesive, their descriptions that they were giving.
Yeah, and at that point, investigators thought they were dealing with a brutal robbery or an isolated assault. The town didn't yet understand that this was going to be the first chapter in a serial pattern, Kara.
Yeah, so about a month later, everything escalated. On the morning of March 24th, 1946, a passing motorist noticed a car parked on a remote dirt road known locally as Lover's Lane, Stu. I'm going to take you to Lover's Lane a little bit later.
Yeah, you are.
Stop it. This is inappropriate. All right. And it was a 1941 Oldsmobile. Inside were 29-year-old Richard Griffin and his 17-year-old girlfriend. I'm sorry, but you have to have a problem with that age gap. That's a bit much. 29 and 17?
Was she 17, about to turn 18 the next day?
Oh, Stuart. Her name was
Or
Polly Ann, which was...
Did she just turn 17 the day before?
What's ironic, her name was Polly Ann Moore. So, Pollyanna, you know. So, yeah, I feel like that age difference was a bit much. I feel like it was more acceptable back then. I really actually feel like they've gone in the other direction as we've gone through time up until this point.
Both of them had been shot in the back of the head. Richard was found on his knees between the front seats, his hands on the seat and his head resting on them, as though he'd been made to kneel before he was shot. Polly was laying face down in the back seat.
Yeah, so this is really escalating from prior both people had survived and now the person has killed both of these people. Now, investigators observed a blood trail outside the car and concluded that the couple had likely been attacked and killed outside the vehicle, then repositioned post-mortem. So this is another level. There was no evidence of robbery. Valuables were still there. It looked like the motive was purely violence, which is super, super scary.
Yeah, somebody just showing up just to commit
just
violent
to commit
crime.
And then moving the bodies afterwards is disturbing.
Exactly. This was not a murder or a mugging that had gone wrong. It was a premeditated stage murder. And because there was still no clear suspect, panic began to spread quietly and quickly, especially among the young people who'd been doing the same thing that Griffin and Moore had been doing, which is making out in parked cars.
Yes, they'd be
dark.
out there like, oh, God, we're up next, you know. On April 13th, 1946, 17-year-old Paul Martin picked up 15-year-old Betty Jo Booker after she'd finished playing saxophone with her band at a local VFW dance. They left in Paul's car. It was the last time anyone would see them alive.
The next morning, Paul's body was found on the side of the road. He had been shot 4 times, once in the face, once in the neck, once in the hand, and once in the shoulder. Hours later, searchers found Betty Jo's body about 2 miles away near a small wooded area, and she had been shot twice.
Yeah, so that was a very violent death for Paul, like to be shot that many times in different
Yeah,
areas.
it's like he was trying to get away, put his hand up
Yeah,
in
to block
self-defense.
himself. Yeah. Don't let me forget. I want to come back to this because there is a scene in the movie that they make about this that they talk about Betty Jo's murder, and it was extremely disturbing. Stu.
Was it now?
It was. At the scene, investigators found a .32 caliber
Wow.
Stu. Caliber shell casings. Now, when they compared those to the casings that they found at the Griffin and Moore murders, they matched. Same weapon, a .32 caliber Colt automatic pistol. That's when law enforcement realized that they weren't just dealing with separate random tragedies, they were dealing with a actual serial killer in their midst, which is just insane to think about in Texarkana in 1946. However, let me say, we're calling it a serial killer now, but back then they did not. That term was not around. A serial
It wasn't around
killer.
until what, the 70s? 80s?
Yeah, I think the 70s or 80s that they coined that term for somebody who killed more than 3 people. So yeah, this was just unknown at that time to have to deal with something like this.
The fact that Betty Jo had just come from a band gig and Paul was picking her up like any teenage boy picking up his friend after a show made this feel particularly cruel.
Yeah, they were doing like wholesome teen activities back then, you know? I mean, yes, they were going to Lover's Lane, but, you know.
Doing some necking.
They were just doing some necking.
Yeah. These weren't people living on the margins, on the fringe of society. These were kids doing normal, everyday, weekend things. And suddenly, an unseen person started hunting these kids doing these normal things and killing them.
Yeah, taking them out in like a very cruel manner. So once the connection between the murders was clear, panic fully overtook Texarkana, which I can imagine I would be the same way. I mean, this is relatively small town. This is back in 1946, so yes, there's no social media to spread the word, but let me tell you what, everybody in that town knew what was going on. Hardware stores sold out of deadbolts, window locks, and ammunition. People who had never owned guns went out and bought them. Now, movie theaters and cafes emptied out at night. People slept in groups or moved in with relatives so they wouldn't be alone. I mean, it was full on panic going from, oh, we'll just lock our doors or not. It doesn't matter. Everything's safe in this town to like full on. We're deadbolting everything. We're moving in groups. We're shutting down the town. We're done.
Some folks started patrolling their own neighborhoods. A neighborhood watch, if you will.
Oh, I do love a neighborhood watch, Stu. I've always wanted to join one, you know, just...
Do you?
Yes.
Maybe at our next house you
strolling
can join
around
one.
and, oh, yeah, we can't watch this neighborhood. This neighborhood shit that we live in. It's nothing but debauchery going on out there right now.
Yeah, somebody was just booming coming
it's
down
almost,
the road.
yeah, it's like super late at night and someone was just had our windows shaken with their car stereo.
Yeah, midnight. Come on now.
Come on, get it together, folks.
Other people drove around at night looking for suspicious cars. The atmosphere was tense, so tense that you had to wonder if the fear itself might eventually cause some kind of vigilante incident or an accidental shooting of somebody.
People panicking and assuming that someone's coming to get them and then overreacting and like shooting somebody because they're like, hey.
Because Stu went out to get some beer and cigarettes at 10 o'clock at night.
And left his family.
Left his family.
Yes, and then overreacting, be like, I'm going to shoot him because I feel like he's a suspicious person.
He's suspicious out here at 10 o'clock at night.
So the Texas Rangers, the classic or the
Walker,
famous Texas Rangers.
Chuck Norris.
Is that Chuck? He died, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Oh,
or did he?
Rip.
Or
Chuck
did
Norris,
he?
rip.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay, so they were called in to assist along with local police on both sides of the state line and federal investigators. They set up to decoy operations along country roads, sometimes dressing this is my favorite part, sometimes dressing male officers as women. And can you imagine back in the 1940s, this was, I mean, like today it would be, you know, it would be probably lots of them would be okay with doing this. But back then, I'm assuming it was probably like a big pull, like, hey, the chief was like, hey, I'm going to need you to put on a wig and a dress.
We're going to stuff your bra.
Yes. And the officer was probably like, oh my God. So yeah, so they dressed male officers as women and then put them with another male officer dressed in like plain clothes to try to like replicate couple.
Some necking.
Yeah. The one guy was probably like, I've been waiting for this to happen my entire career, that I can finally make out with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's been unacceptable in this current climate. Yeah, so they actually staged couples, and they were both male officers, and one was dressed as a female and one was dressed as a male, to try to entice the Phantom into attacking them, just as like they were another couple, to try to figure out who this person was.
But the Phantom Slayer shifted tactics. Instead of sticking to
So you're officially going with the Phantom Slayer?
Yeah. On and on, south of heaven, raining blood from a lacerated sky.
Oh my God, Stuart.
What?
That's so dark.
What
is wrong with you?
They're just classy tunes you can dance to.
It's not a classy tune. Stu used to... Okay, let me do a little flashback. Stu used to do this to me late at night after maybe a couple of drinks.
Put it in the...
He used to put... No, he used to put on his iPhone or whatever a Slayer song, and I was like, that's like the devil. I mean, I grew up in a very religious household. We weren't even allowed to play NSYNC, for God's sake. I mean, come on. Slayer sounded like...
How do you know it wasn't Infectious Grooves or Suicidal Tendencies?
I don't know, Stuart. It was devil
Anthrax
music.
Or
You're playing devil music
Megadeth,
for me, and I'll stand up on that against that you were playing devil music to me, and that's where.
And I still play it whenever.
When?
Whenever
I haven't heard it. I know you're
Me
trying
and
to
the kids rock out on the way to speech therapy.
Well, I know you're trying to get that 2-year-old, that little poot.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to get her. She's a little bit hardcore. I need to watch that one.
Yep.
Yes.
So the Phantom Slayer did shift tactics. Instead of sticking to parked cars on lovers' lanes, he took aim at farmhouses instead.
On the night of May 3rd, 1946, 37-year-old Virgil Starks was sitting in his favorite chair in his home 10 miles outside of Texarkana, Stu. His favorite chair. This is the real crime.
I have a favorite chair.
I know, but I'm saying, like, you don't do something to somebody in their favorite chair, okay? There's a privacy to that, okay? Now, he was listening to the radio and reading the newspaper. Behind him was a window.
According to accounts of the incident, 2 shots rang out from outside. The bullets traveled through the glass and into the back of Virgil's head. He died almost instantly, slumping forward out of the chair and onto the floor.
His favorite chair.
I
mean, at least, I'm not trying to be dark, but at least, I mean, I want to be comfortable before I go, so at least he was in his favorite chair. Now, his wife, 36-year-old Katie Starks, I find that funny. It's like Katie. I don't feel like that's like a normal name.
Katie?
Yeah.
Why not?
No, it's a normal name now, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, back then, Katie.
You don't think Katie was a popular 1940s name?
No. Heard the glass shatter.
Well, she would have been born in the 20s, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so she was ahead of her time.
Or the teens.
Her parents were ahead of the time. Now, she heard the glass shatter. She came into the room, saw Virgil, and ran toward the telephone to call for help. As she did, the killer fired again through the same window, hitting her twice in the face. Katie collapsed but wasn't killed outright. So she is surviving.
Mortally wounded.
But not thriving, Stu. Not thriving.
The attacker then moved to the back porch.
Which is where we will be going after this episode, Stu. That's where we do sitting, sipping, and bullshitting on the porch.
Correct.
Guys, just embrace my porch analogy.
I think it's nerdy.
I need you to embrace that we are on a porch. We are on rocking chairs and we are talking true crime because I love it so much. I need you to just accept it.
With your digital marshmallows?
Your digital marshmallows. Your digital
I'll
porch.
never let that go.
Your digital chair, rocking chair. If we could record this in a rocking chair on a porch, I would be 10 out of 10. I would be so happy with that. But I don't know. The acoustics aren't right,
Well, there'd be mosquitoes out there, too.
So instead, we're sitting in a closet. But metaphorically, I am on a porch. Talking with Stu. We're chit-chatting about this case with all of you all.
Getting back to our story.
Yes. We will not get sidetracked.
The killer moved to the back porch, trying to get inside. ripping at the screen door, trying to enter the home.
That's extremely terrifying for Katie. Can you imagine being shot and then this psychopath is trying to rip through the screen door to get in there to you? I mean, it's
what
straight
about Virgil?
Well, Virgil
dead. Got shot.
I know, but I'm saying Katie's still alive, and she's watching this person try to break in to get her.
She heard a glass break. She walked out, saw her husband.
No, she's been shot.
Face down, murdered, and she's like, "Oh my God, I need help!" And then she gets shot.
I know that. I'm saying this is.
Then the guy's trying to break in the house.
Yes, I'm saying it's completely terrifying for her.
Well, you left Virgil out of the whole. You left Virgil out of the
Virgil's
whole scenario.
dead. We have to move on. Okay.
Wow.
R.I.P. Virgil. Okay, we have to move on. The fact is that Katie is living this nightmare, this true life horror movie of someone trying to break in while she's injured. I mean, I can't even imagine.
Yes, and while she's bleeding heavily, Katie somehow managed to get up, run out the back, and cross the highway barefoot to a neighbor's house. They got her to a hospital, and she survived. She was not mortally wounded.
Thank God, like you said. Thank God. She's got she needs some therapy, but she's going to make it. Now, ballistics later showed that the weapon used in the Starks attack was a .22 rifle, different from the .32 Colt automatic pistol used in the previous murders. Investigators still believed, based on timing and behavior, that this was likely the same killer, changing his method. But the new weapon and the home setting definitely complicated that profile that they were trying to build. Because, I mean, most serial killers don't really change their MO unless they're building up to how they really want to do it. Like, you might see the early on killings are a certain way, but once they establish what gets them off, metaphorically off, they stick to that pattern. So this is a completely different way to... It's almost like the person who wants to kill just wants to kill. Like, they don't care how it happens, what the weapon is, what the setting.
He went from up close and personal sexual assault to basically being a sniper.
Yeah, to telling someone to take their pants off while he beats them and stuff like that. I mean, it's an escalation for sure. Maybe this is how he really wants to do this, is to kill in no matter what means it takes, just to murder people and terrify them.
Yeah, so now you got a masked attacker beating and assaulting a couple in a car, a killer shooting couples on Lover's Lane, and a shooter firing into a farmhouse window. So you have this broad area of Texarkana, same season of the time of the year, possibly the same man. And the more the pattern shifted, the harder it is to predict or set a trap for this guy.
Yeah, to kind of predict what he's going to do next. So authorities, they interviewed hundreds of people, close to 400 by some accounts. I mean, they're pulling at every straw
they're
they
at a
can.
loss.
Yeah. They're like, we got to figure this out. They chased leads that went nowhere, questioned drifters, because, we always got some drifters in Texas.
Uh-huh. We do. Especially out here in Midland.
Yep. And they looked into jealous ex-husbands, ex-boyfriends, tried to build a profile from incomplete survivor memories, whatever they could do from what they could cobble from what they got from everybody who had any interaction with this person, any relationships that the victims had, what they could cobble together to find out who could possibly be doing this. Because, again, this is the 1940s. This isn't... You can't just, I know they had cars back then, but it wasn't just as easy as now. You could, do something in one town and then head on to the next.
They had cars for, 20-some-odd years.
Yes, I know that, but it wasn't as easy to, hop in a car and drive 500 miles in a day, like it is now. I mean, they're like, someone has to know somebody that's done something, and they're still probably in this town, this small little town in Texas.
Well, funny you should mention that, Kara. One name that eventually rose to the top was a fellow by the name of Youell Swinney, a 29-year-old career criminal, mostly known for auto theft and forgery. He'd been in and out of trouble for years and was considered dangerous, but not necessarily a murderer, until his wife spilled the beans, Kara.
That bitch.
Right?
Now, his wife, Peggy, was picked up on a separate charge, so she wasn't really living the high and mighty life herself. Now, during her questioning, she started talking about the Moonlight Murders, or as Stu would call the Phantom Slayer.
Yes. On
and
and on, south
with
of
the
heaven.
with some sort of music in the background, and implied that her husband was responsible. In some accounts, she explicitly said he was the phantom killer and that she had been in the car during at least one of the attacks.
She provided details
Drink.
that investigators found compelling. She allegedly directed police to areas connected to the Booker and Martin case, including the general area where Betty Jo's saxophone was eventually discovered. That kind of specific information made the detectives take her seriously. At least at first they did.
Yes. But again, she was picked up on charges, so she might not be the best reliable witness to all of this.
And she might not like her husband. Anyway.
This is true, okay? It might be ups and downs in that relationship.
From personal experience, I know this can
Stuart,
happen. What?
I know you're... Just shut up. Okay. Now, Peggy's story shifted over time. Sometimes she seemed to recant. Sometimes she modified details. I'm guessing how much she loved and hated her husband on that day. Her reliability was a major problem. On top of that, under Texas law at the time, a wife couldn't be forced to testify against her husband.
I don't think you can be forced anywhere.
I don't think you can either. I think, what is that called? There's some sort of thing where, like, husband and wife don't have to testify against each other.
Cannot be compelled to.
Can't be compelled to.
If they want to, though.
Yes. So, yes, where was I, Stu?
Without her testimony in court.
Without her testimony in court, the state had no direct witness to tie Swinney to the murder. So this is a major issue for them. I mean, but basically all they had was, like, possibly a bitter wife that maybe hates and loves her husband, seems to go back and forth saying, yeah, he did it and I was there. And it's like, what are your actual evidence that you are, like, what are you backing this story up with, you know?
They did have his criminal record and his behavioral record. Swinney was eventually convicted as a habitual offender and given a life sentence for auto theft, Kara.
Listen, they would give you life for anything back then, I feel like. Nowadays
like,
you murdered 7 people? Sure, we'll let you out. Seems like a one-off situation.
Yeah, you can go on probate. You can go on
it's
parole.
Fine.
Or, what do you call that?
It's fine. Good behavior. We'll let
bail,
you
yeah,
out.
We'll give you bail.
Yeah, it's good.
So your trial, no problem. You're not a flight
now,
risk.
Back then, you stole a couple cars. You were like, yeah, you're lucky you're not getting the death penalty. Okay. I don't think they had the death penalty.
I don't know, but all these ID people that keep trying to do phishing emails, they ought to get the death penalty.
Yes, they should. Anybody who's trying, I really think there's a special place in hell for people that take, especially senior citizens, take advantage of them and take their entire life savings.
They
should
put them in
just
the poorhouse.
Yes, they should be put to death for
That's
sure.
Wood chipper.
I'll support that right there. That's absolutely horrible.
Anybody that plays Taylor Swift music after
Stuart,
what?
Stop it. We know she didn't do the best at the wedding. She could have done better at the executing her wedding or whatever, but
Could she have?
Yes, that was so tacky, inviting everybody. Okay, I'm not going to get into it, but she still makes great music, and if she ever goes back on concert, we're going to see her. We'll be in the town. We'll be in Houston area where she'll definitely be.
Well, you go. I'll be at home with the kids.
That's fine. I'll bring my brother.
Okay.
He'll have a great time.
Anyway.
Oh, you know who's going on tour is
Slayer?
Garth Brooks. Again. We should go. That was fun. No?
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay. Let's get back. This is what we're trying to
avoid.
To reel in, okay? This is a sitting, sipping, and bullshitting type of conversation.
It is. Of course, we've been going on so long tonight that... Anyway. After Mr. Swinney was locked up, the Moonlight Murders stopped, Kara. That circumstantial timing has led many to believe that he was the Phantom Slayer, Angel of Death, monarch to the kingdom of the dead.
Lord.
From the album Rain and Blood. Even though he was never formally charged with homicide.
Yes, and there was no physical evidence, no fingerprints, no murder weapon linked to him, no definitive forensic tie, just a pattern. A wife's shifting story saying, hey, I hate him. I love him. He did it. He didn't do it. I'm not going to testify against him, but yes, he's the person.
But I'll tell you right now, he done it.
Yep. A known criminal and a killer's whose spree ceased when that criminal went away is all they literally all they have is just like, okay, the murder stopped when he went away.
Right.
And, that ain't enough to say whether or not he actually did it. It's a big jump from stealing cars to killing people. I mean, that's a major...
Just for the fun and the violence of it all.
Yeah.
Yes, so over the decades, other theories have popped up. Some people think that the Phantom Slayer might have been a local man who was never on law enforcement's radar, someone who blended back into the town once the heat got too high and old Swinney went to jail. Others have suggested he could have died in an accident or from an illness not long after the last attack.
I mean, that's always a probability, but...
Probability,
I don't know. Or he just moved on to a different town. We don't know, Stu. There's also a theory that the Phantom might have been a soldier or veteran with weapons training who passed through Texarkana, committed his crimes, and then, just
moved on,
meandered on, was stationed someplace else. So the end of World War II created a huge flow of people, some carrying trauma. Obviously, I mean, I can't even imagine what they went through in World War II. Some carrying skills that could make them more dangerous if something broke inside them, if they're having mental health issues, which we're better at identifying now. We know that people have gone to war recently, are going to be possibly suffering some those types of things, and so we need to have support for them. But back then, that wasn't like a thing at all. I mean, they just
called it shell shock. They didn't call it PTSD. They were
like, bucket the fuck up, soldier. Okay, You need to get it together. But really, those people. To do. I can't even imagine what they saw, like storming the beaches of Normandy or anything like that.
Bataan Death March.
Yeah, or going into the concentration camps and seeing what happened to like children and women and all those people. I mean, I can't even imagine. So, yeah, so they're concerned that maybe it was just somebody who just kind of broke and snapped at that time and was just passing through the town and had gone on to someplace else.
It could be, Kara. But we don't have any proof for any of these theories.
That's right,
What we
Stu.
have
We do not.
are patterns and speculation, which Kara is giving. The only solid things are the crimes, the survivor testimony, and the fact that after a concentrated season of violence, the killings stopped as abruptly as they began.
At the same time that the Swinney fellow went to jail.
Yeah.
I think it's so... I still want to, I just think it's so disturbing, the white mask. It just seems so Halloween, so horror film, just so scary. So for a town like Texarkana, that means living with the knowledge that someone did these things and that someone never faced a courtroom, there was never justice served, nothing. They don't have any solid answers. They just have theories in their head as possibly it was a Swinney guy, possibly it was somebody who moved on to another place. There's no satisfying answer, no official hey, we got him. It just lingers on within the town.
Yeah, because even during the sexual assault stuff, they're not going to be like, hey, we're going to swab this girl.
No, they didn't have any of that. Yeah.
Nothing.
So they didn't even have the inkling that was a possibility. A lot of the times we hear about crimes in the 90s specifically, like, hey, we heard this technology.
We're going to collect everything.
Yeah, we heard this technology was coming, but we didn't have it at the moment when we knew to collect the evidence. Back then there was not even what are we going to do with any of this,
What are we going to do with a pop can with some saliva?
Yeah, or what are we going to do with any swabs from a sexual assault victim?
What do you mean
what are we
swab a sexual assault victim?
Yeah, what is the point?
That sounds
weird and invasive. Yes. So today, nearly 80 years later, the Phantom Killer, or Slayer as Stu likes to call him, remains unidentified. He attacked, killed, and vanished. The town has changed in 1,000 ways, but the legend remains. We've been through Texarkana, haven't we? I think so. We passed through.
I've been through there. I don't know if I've been through there with you.
Yeah, we haven't been there.
Oh, maybe we did go through there on
I
our
thought
way
we
to
went
Oklahoma.
through it together. I think so. Yeah, we did.
We were going to a thing in Oklahoma.
A funeral, Stu, if you want to be
it was a memorial.
Depressing.
It was a memorial.
Yes,
but
it was my mother's funeral. If we want to get into it, would you like me to break down? No, we're not going to do that right now. So anyway, everything's like I said, the legend remains: a masked man in the dark, a gun, and a spring when safety felt like a lie in that town, because they originally felt very secure, not locking their doors. Just, I mean, it's a small town. I mean, back in the 40s, I swear. I mean, what's crazy is we're about, in a couple years, in like a decade and a half, the 40s are not going to be the 1940s. They're going to be the 2040s, which is crazy to me. I can't believe it's been
that we're going to live to the 2040s.
I will. I don't
that we're
know
talking about the roaring 20s right now.
Oh my God!
100 years ago, there was flapper girls in the roaring 20s.
Wow, that's crazy. They were much better 20s than we are.
Yes, they had much better clothes.
Oh yeah, they had much better clothes,
much
better
going
vibes, on. Much better. I mean, nobody drinks these days. All the Gen Zs, they say it's like down, like boo.
Well, you are definitely making up for them.
Yeah, we're trying to make it. We're trying to bring it back with our weekly pour or whatever that we'll talk about in our sitting, sipping, and bullshitting. We have a recipe every week.
If we can get there tonight,
yes,
we
can. We're gonna make it. Yeah. So, and if the name sounds so, let's talk about what I wanted to talk about earlier about the white mask and all the creepy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, if the name sounds familiar about this phantom killer, it's because there is a horror movie that was filmed in 1976. So this is pre-Halloween, which is
Friday
I feel
the
like
13th and all that.
Well, I feel like Halloween is like the quintessential Halloween time scary movie, the one you watch. We always watch it. I've never seen this movie, so we're definitely adding it to the lineup when we watch our Halloween, when we have our 31 Days of Halloween, Stu. Next Friday, we're celebrating, whose birthday, Stu?
Slayers.
No. Harry Potter.
Who's that?
Harry Potter, Stu.
Oh.
You've been to several locations that have been tied to him. Anyway, so in 1976, a film called The Town That Dreaded Sundown took this story and turned it into a slasher-style movie, complete with the hooded killer stalking couples in Texarkana. It was directed by Charles B. Pierce and was based very loosely on the real incident, so it's more of a spooky riff on the case than a documentary retelling. However, it's very close to what happened. And that's the thing with... Yes, and in that movie, Betty Jo's murder was completely disturbing. So we did watch a scene from how they did that.
Yes.
And apparently, from what I understand, is that a film crew would come in every year and play The Town That Dreaded Sundown on a outdoor type drive-in movie theater. And then all of a sudden, the town was really mad that they were doing this. They were like, could you please stop?
Could you not?
We can literally not get away from this story. And so we watched a documentary, and the documentary was an hour and a half long, but it was only a small portion. The filmmakers were going into this town. And the newspaper even printed out and said, hey, we can't get away from this story that we had all these serial killings back in the 1940s. And no one will let this go. That it was unsolved and that this disturbing thing happened in our town.
Yes, so they even took Betty Jo had the saxophone that she played at the VFW.
Yes.
But they changed it to a trombone in the...
Yes.
In the movie.
And they had him attach a knife to it and slowly...
Playing it
and killing her. Anyways, we definitely need to watch this movie, as disturbing as it is. We need to watch it because I feel like what they were saying was this was the pre-Halloween movie. This was the quintessential horror movie. So yeah, you guys need to check it out if you are horror movie buffs. Yes. For sure.
If you like your Friday the 13th, your Halloweens.
Yes. Which we love. I love watching them during... They call them mood readers, Stu. I'm a mood movie person. I love to watch Halloween movies at Halloween time. Christmas movies at Christmas. Valentine's at Valentine's.
Die Hard every year at Christmas time.
God. That's not a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie, Karen.
Okay, yeah.
It's a Christmas movie.
All right, well, that's our story for this week. Stu, do you have a Y'all Need Jesus? Do you have one ready for us?
Of course I do, Kara.
Okay, then let's give it to us.
I always have one ready. You want me to give it to you?
Give it to me hard, Stu.
All right, Kara. This week's Y'all Need Jesus we have Highway Patrol stops a Rocket Man truck with missiles mounted in the bed near a city in a state. Florida, not Florida.
I mean, rockets in the bed of a truck? It's got Florida written all over it. I mean,
You are correct.
I don't know where else you go with
It was,
that.
in fact, Florida. The short version is that Florida Highway Patrol officers stopped a truck near Plant City after multiple drivers called it in because it had missiles mounted in the bed. The driver ended up getting nicknamed Rocket Man in the reporting.
Rocket Man!
Yes.
Well, Florida does have the
Cape
space
Canaveral.
station. Yes, we've been there several times.
4 times
we
now.
are frequent visitors. That's like our
Well, 3
thing.
times now.
Every time we bring a new child and we take a picture in front of the
Saturn V rocket.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, so when you take the bus to the next, if you're familiar with this, you arrive at the Kennedy Space Center, you take a bus to the down, and they added a new stop this time, though, which is where I got into with that one lady.
Yes.
Anyways, about the family restroom.
Yes.
You
I do
stop
remember
there,
it.
but then normally every other time besides this last time, you go straight to this other area where they got a bunch of different displays. And what was the thing you said?
Saturn V rocket.
Yeah, so we always kneel down and people have asked to take pictures of it, and we're like, no, we do a selfie. So it's always just a selfie. And so each time we've added a new child every time we've come.
Well, we did 1, then we were there with 3.
Yes, we skipped poor little Tootie man. He
did.
just got we didn't make it back in time to get the 1, the 2. So we went 1, 3, and then 4. So we have 3 pictures with the 4 children, and it's the same exact photo with us as a family, growing and adding new members. Anyways, it's one of our things we do. So when we have the next child,
What? Wait, what?
Stu won't let me have any more children, although
you can have all the children you want.
with somebody else.
With whoever the dad of these other 4 is, yes. You can just keep on making
It's you, Stu.
them. Ah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, we had a guy in El Toro.
Okay.
He was all into the electronic stuff. He had like a 1980-something Mustang. He took the dash out, replaced it with
1987 Mustang?
1980-something Mustang.
Was 80s a big year?
No.
All I know is the tacky Mustangs, which
Well, these were the
2000s.
Those are.
They weren't cool. They were just
the new ones are really terrible.
Yeah.
Well, there was some in the 1970s that were bad. The 1980s they got okay.
I just feel like everybody's like, I want a 1965 Mustang, know?
Yes, I would like another one. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, he had like an 82 or 84. I don't know what it was. Anyway, he was big into whatever, ripped out the entire dash, put his own stuff in there, his own gauges and everything that he wired and everything. But he also put some little rockets, 8 to 10 inch little rockets under the back of the car that would come, in the back. It would come up out of the trunk.
Oh, so they would he could push a button.
He could push a button and they would come up like James Bond.
Yes.
And he had some underneath that were underneath the gas tank as well. Anyway, Marine Corps comes through. They're like, hey, we're going to repave the parking lot of this barracks. Move all your cars. He doesn't move his car. I don't know.
Rocket Man.
He doesn't move his car. I don't know.
Rocket Man does not move.
He does not move his car. So they're like, okay, we're going to come in with a forklift.
What year was this that they were doing this? So this car
This
was
is
like 10 or 12 years old. It was technically like a vintage car.
So it's like 92, 93 maybe.
So it's like 10 years old, this car.
10, 15 years old. So they come in with the forklift. They lift his car up. They see all these rockets on the bottom underneath his gas tank. They're like, oh, God. This guy, we got a situation.
We got a terrorist on base.
EOD is called.
What's EOD?
Explosive Ordnance Disposal is called. They clear out all the barracks, the whole shebang-a-bang. They're like, evacuate the barracks. We don't care. Don't grab nothing. Just leave. Go somewhere.
Exit the airplane. Don't grab your luggage.
Exactly.
Let's go.
So, yes. This fella had his little rockets wired up that would actually shoot out. They weren't explosive or nothing. They wouldn't explode. They would just shoot out. I guess they could go through your radiator if you were tailgating the guy. And
they deserve to be.
Yes. However, yes, that was our story. EOD evacuated the barracks. Oh boy, he had to go do some explaining to the CO. I think he actually did a little time served for.
Why?
Well, he did. This was a guy that he forged his own no
You
shave.
don't seem above the board, okay?
He was trying to get out of the military,
Okay.
so he's doing all kinds
So
of.
putting rockets on his car was a
was
solid move.
That was not part of the plan. But
let me put rockets on the car. Let me send in a bomb threat.
This guy didn't want to shave.
Let me break an ankle.
He didn't want to shave his face.
Okay.
So he forged a no-shave chit, like he had a skin condition and like some kind of acne or
Are
whatever.
you still friends with this person?
I was never friends with the guy. But we all knew about him. He was kind of odd. So he forged his own no-shave chit and got away with it for months. He just had a full-grown beard in the Marine Corps. He was like, yeah, I got a no-shave chit. And, I got skin conditions.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
But then he was like, okay, I'm getting out of the Marine Corps. This is it. So he would go to the park, and he would call the MPs. He would say, there's this really drunk guy at the park. You need to go check on him.
Was he the really drunk guy?
Yes.
Okay.
So, because if you got so many alcohol-related incidents, they would just kick you out of the Marine Corps.
Why can't you just exit on your own accord?
Because they were like, well, screw this guy. So he got put into the legal system, and he ended up spending like another 6 to 8 months.
What's this person's name? I need to see what he's doing at this time. We need to Facebook stalk him. We need to find out where this person is.
So he spent like another 6 to 8 months longer in the Marine Corps than he would have originally under his original contract. If he would have just done his time and got out, because he was on legal hold and he had to go through the whole legal system to get kicked out of the Marine Corps.
Okay, so that's our segue from
Rocket Man in Florida to Rocket Man in California. I don't know, did we? Or did you interrupt me?
No, I think you interrupted yourself with this.
Did I?
Yes.
Or were you singing Rocket Man?
Yeah, so apparently multiple people called in that he had rockets in the back of his vehicle.
I said that. Yes, I said that.
And then he got nicknamed Rocket Man.
Yes, I said that.
Did we say that?
I said that.
So apparently they were like low-budget action movie props. Did you say that? They weren't actually rockets?
Are you reading my thing?
Yes. That's what they said.
Yes.
Sounds
like my Rocket Man went to Florida and pulled the same shit.
I was just going to say, if I could give a somewhat similar story, because this is the end of the podcast, so if you're here, your family, it's like Olive Garden.
All the Hebs.
If you're here, your family. Okay. All the Hebs. Hey, everyone, buys dues. If you're here.
I'm surprised you made it this far.
We've moved on we're about to move to the back porch, Stu, if we're going to
We're going to have to, because you're already 8 to 10 shots.
I know, because the baby wouldn't go. The baby's been off on his schedule, and he is staying up super late. So, if you're here, we did really good. We stuck to the script on the actual crime.
I'm surprised that you held it together for as many shots as you've had.
Let me tell you.
What?
Let me tell you my similar situation as Rocket Man in the parking lot with the military investigating his car. I was in high school.
Oh, Jesus.
I had 1992 Honda Prelude.
I do like the Honda Preludes.
It was gold. It had a back seat. I put leopard pillows in the back seat.
Wow.
I made them myself, DIY. I put these leopard pillows that were like rectangular shaped in the back seat.
Just because you couldn't wait to get home to a bed.
No. I just wanted to make it chic. I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. I had a Scooby-Doo, those things that they used to make. We should get one for our cars, too. Back in the day, when they would be bobbleheads. So you'd be driving along. So I had a Scooby-Doo one, so his neck would bobble or whatever, move around or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. I've seen a bobblehead.
Yeah, so it was a bobblehead Scooby-Doo, and which is so funny because our kids love Scooby-Doo. I mean, he is.
I love Scooby-Doo.
If I didn't know Great Danes were such just terrible dogs, I'd get one. But they're terrible dogs.
And name him Scooby?
Yes. So anyway, I had a bobblehead Scooby-Doo. So I'm sitting in class in high school or whatever, and all of a sudden the resource officer, the officer that's on the campus, I was in a pretty I was in a 5A school. So it was a pretty big school. Comes into my classroom and like, hey, you need to come out here to your car. So I'm like,
we're going to talk to you.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean, I was on the softball team. I had taken I've never done a drug in my life. Like, Stu's another question, but I have never, I mean, I partake in the alcohol, but I have literally never done a drug in my life. I've never smoked weed. I've never done any of that. That's not my thing
jam.
Or whatever. That's not my jam. Stu, on the other hand, has dabbled.
What? There ain't no proof of none of this.
Stu's done some stuff.
Don't be trying to rat me out.
So anyway, I'm like, wow, this is like super crazy because I was straight A student on the softball team with a bow in my hair, like straight and narrow and everything like that. So they come in and I still see this in my head. This is why I'm telling this story, because like it's one of those like concrete memories that's just like in your head and you can see it. So I go out there, I'm standing in front of the gold 1992 Honda Prelude that I had with the leopard.
They're like, ma'am, is this a mobile
and
prostitution
the Scooby-Doo thing on the thing. And I'm like, what the fuck did I buy from this guy that, like, I bought this car from, you know? And the thing was that the guy that I bought it from, his grandpa sold it to me as, like, a family thing or whatever, so I didn't have to pay taxes. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that was, but anyway, we were in a small town, so he was
drug dogs hit on it?
Yeah, so the drug dogs hit on it. It's like, what is happening? And they didn't find anything, okay? But I was like, oh my God, I'm about to get in trouble. I start over explaining. I'm like, I bought this car from somebody like this, and all I remember is them taking.
I can see you hyperventilating. Too.
Yes, and all I remember is them like, this is 16-year-old Kara. They took the Scooby-Doo head off of the Scooby-Doo body.
Mm. Did it traumatize you?
And I remember the dog sniffing it, and I was like, what the.
Cannibalism.
Yes, it traumatized me. The dog was smelling everything, and I'm like trying to explain myself. I'm like, those are my cleats in the back seat. Yes, so very similar.
I thought that they were going to ask you about the mobile prostitution couch you had in the back seat.
With the leopard.
Yeah.
Stuart, I was 16 years old. I thought they were cool. My whole room was done in jungle theme. Anyways, okay. This is at the end of the podcast, so that's acceptable that we are off topic, okay? So, we're going to...
Had pillows in the back of your car, did you?
We're going to see you on the porch.
Yes. Are you going to make it to the porch?
I'm going to make it to the porch. That's our whole theme, guys. Okay, so we have revamped the podcast. They've
already heard that. You explained that for 20 minutes at the beginning of this
I did.
episode. Yes.
All of you are we're 4 drinks deep into the weekly pour at this point. Or 5. So we'll see you on
2 shots of whiskey in each.
You know what? I really feel like this is
some old granddad.
Okay,
with my dear old granddad.
Listen to me though. Listen to me.
What?
This feels like so we stuck to the point on the actual true crime case that we just covered. Mm-hmm. However, on the porch on Friday nights, when everybody gets the episode.
With your Prelude backseat and leopard pillows.
Yes. I feel like they're going to get OG.
Face
Bless
down,
this mess.
Ass up, Kara.
Bless this mess of the True Crime Podcast. Stu drinking too much, falling asleep, having to start the next day. I feel like that's what they're going to get. So they're getting straight to the point, true crime on the weekly episode, and then they're getting OG Bless This Mess.
That
on Fridays.
That can't be good for anybody.
That can't be good. We're professionals now, okay? I'm not a broke college student anymore. I have an actual job.
Please. Yeah, I got a job for you.
Oh, Stuart. Anyways.
What?
Okay.
I thought we were doing OG.
No. Okay. We have a new sign-off, guys. Don't hang on with me. I put it in here to try to remember. Okay. Stu.
It's the same sign-off.
What was the sign-off? No, we had a new sign-off.
Well, you added stuff to the sign-off.
I did. Where's it at?
I don't know.
I put it in here.
I don't know.
Oh, my God. Okay. Let me pause and find it. I found it. Thanks for sitting with us. Because remember, we're like in rocking chairs. We're on the porch. I want us to be a community. If you have not joined the Patreon, let me just say, I have the Patreon app. I have downloaded it. I have
I
started
told you
a
to do
group.
that a year ago.
I know you did. I have started a group chat. If you message me in that group chat, it's like text messaging me and you. Like, we are going to see it, and I will respond within a normal time frame. So if you are not a Patreon, that's where you can contact us and say, hey, I want you guys to talk about this. Hey, this is what we're doing. And I'm sharing like daily updates and things like that. Anyways, what was the sign off again? I forgot.
Something about sitting with us.
Thank you for sitting with us.
Mm-hmm.
Same porch, same time next week. Bye, everyone. Say bye, Stu.
Bye, Stu.
Don't you know it's bad luck to be superstitious?